Everyone out there in YouTube land, welcome to part 3 of the videos of my EC Comics collection. Today I'm going to be focused on my favorite EC title, Tales from the Crypt. This book was originally Crypt of Terror. I do not have any of those, unfortunately. The first issue of Tales from the Crypt was 20. I'm missing 20, 21, and 22, and the final issue. Some of the most expensive, of course. But trying to put together a complete run, and I have some decent books. The first issue I have is number 23, and this is not one of the decent books. This is in poor condition. The spine's rolled, it's discolored, the pages you can see are flaked from here, but I think I got this for like $15, so it's an Al Feldstein cover, and he did the first few. This was his and William Gaines's idea. They were fans of horror, so Universal horror, you name it, they loved it, so they started this series. This is a great cover by Feldstein. This is number 24. It's in better shape than 23. A lot of these aren't in the best shape. They were read or well loved, as I like to say. Here's 25, and this is another Feldstein cover. And these books are important to me because, again, this was something my uncle had that I got to look at when I was a little kid when I went to visit, and these were the favorite books of mine that he had, and I really wanted to get a complete run, and introduced me to the EC books and all the great artists that I love, like Wally Wood and Jack Davis and so many others. But this here, speaking of Mr. Wood, this is number 26. This copy's got some problems too, as you can see on the old witch's face. But this is an awesome cover by the great Wally Wood. He did some masterpieces. He's arguably my favorite EC artist. His science fiction covers are fantastic. And this is a good one too. This is number 27. This actually has some pretty bright colors, as in this one's in really nice shape. It does have the month day stamp on it, as many of these old books do, but this is a pretty sharp copy. I'd give this copy a 7 to 7.5. I'm really happy with this, and this is an awesome guillotine execution cover, again by the great Wally Wood. The colors pop off that cover. This is number 28. It's not signed, but I believe it's by Feldstein, but he usually signs his stuff, but it looks like his artwork, and that's a scary cover. One of the big fears of mine, being buried alive. That would not be a good way to go, I don't think. I'd probably have a panic attack, but that's what was great about these covers, man. At the time, I can't imagine in 1950 to 1955 seeing these covers on the stand must have, it must have just blown little kids' minds. I wouldn't be able to walk past any of these covers without bugging my mom to buy me these, and I bet that was quite a task in itself in the 50s, getting your mom to buy you these books. Here's number 29. Here's where Jack Davis took over, and he really did the lion's share of the covers on Tales from the Crypt, and he did an awesome job. This is number 29, pretty decent shape. Awesome Jack Davis cover, and he's so versatile. He can do cartoons, he can do the funny stuff, he can do the horror. He's one of EC's greatest artists. Here's number 30, and this is another classic Davis cover. I like this one. Looks like the Old West miners found a undead guy who was tied down in the gold rush. But Jack Davis was the man, and I'm not sure. I think he might still be alive, but he as far as his work on EC, there were artists, I love Wood's detail, but he did so much important work. Jack Davis did. He did so much important work for EC. A lot of their important titles were worked on. Oops, I'm sorry. Jumping the gun there, so to speak. Oh yeah, we're getting into some good ones here. I'm not exactly 100% sure the story behind them. It's probably obvious why they were, but there were two covers. Oh my god, dropped one. Hold on here. But there were two covers that were banned on Tales from the Crypt. Sorry about that. And I'm guessing because of the time period, most of the time when a book was banned for sale, it had already been out for a few months or sometimes years. But it just meant you weren't allowed to sell it anymore. But as crazy as a lot of these covers are, there was only two covers of Tales from the Crypt that were banned. So, sorry about the shoddy camera work while I was setting these up, but we're going to continue on. This is number 31. And another Jack Davis cover with an executioner. That's a pretty decent copy. Some of these are good. This is 32. And this is a badass Jack Davis cover. This is one of the two banned covers. And that's not going to be a pretty ending to that scenario right there. That's an awesome cover, and you can see why it was banned. Mine's not in bad shape. It definitely has some spine rolling, but as far as discoloration and damage, it's not too bad. It's a nice copy. This is probably my best Tales from the Crypt book. This is number 33. It has a few minor issues, but good shape overall. This is the origin of the Crypt Keeper, and fantastic Jack Davis cover. If you can see, I got a chip in the bottom left, chip on the bottom right. But other than that, there's not really any big faults, really. I mean, again, you have the dating, but that's common, unfortunately. But that is another awesome Jack Davis cover. And honestly, this cover here, I'm pan back a touch, this has a clue to the origin of the Crypt Keeper. This cover does. Pretty cool issue. Number 34. Yet again, another Jack Davis cover. This one is a pretty good copy. They adapt a Ray Bradbury story, and it's a wax museum, Frankenstein and Jack the Ripper, done by the legendary Jack Davis. Fantastic covers. Number 35. I'm pretty sure Davis did all the rest of the covers. I might be mistaken. I might pull out one and find out I'm wrong, but I do believe he did all the rest of the covers. But here's number 35. Pretty nice shape. Got a chip in the top right corner, another small one. But this is a werewolf cover. Pretty cool. The smoke coming out of the werewolf's mouth. It's nice. Number 36. This is a pretty nice copy. Bright colors, another Ray Bradbury story. Actually, no, there's a nice crease in there, right up the middle. Good lord. So no, it's not in the best shape, but the colors are pretty bright, and it's a cool cover to look at. It's nice to have high grade, but to me, it's most important that everything's there. You know, that I can look at the cover and appreciate it. It's not falling apart and the pages aren't brittle, but, you know, if it's cheap enough, I'll still buy it and just look for a better copy later. But this is a pretty awesome cover. Number 37. This is one of my favorite Jack Davis covers here. And it's a cool one. He does a good zombie. Half decayed. And, you know, some of these covers are a bit to get away with in the 50s. Now here's number 38. Unfortunately, mine is missing a chunk of the top left quarter. But this... number 38 here is another Jack Davis cover, and this was the other cover besides the elephant cover that was banned. So that's pretty cool to have. It's a nice cover as well. Now we're going to move along to the last of my Tales from the Crypt book. You know, God, that book is destined to fall tonight, the second time. But yeah, unfortunately I do not have any of the other EC horror books. I don't have any Haunt of Fear. I don't have any Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now. Vault of Horror. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have any Vault of Horror. I'd like to put those together, and you know, maybe someday if I get the rest of the tales I need, I need to do those 2 series, and Shock Suspense Stories is another one I'd like to start collecting a run of, but one unrealistic dream at a time is my motto, anyway. But I'm not too far from getting it done. I only need 4 issues and the annuals and the 3D if I want it, but of course I need the most expensive, but we'll see, maybe I'll find some at Baltimore this year. Those are the tables I look for, guys, that have the signs 50% off Golden and Silver Age, but half the time they're priced so high that it's not really 50% off. But anywho, I'm going to have a look, see if I can't get the ones I need at Baltimore this year. But for budgetary concerns, I'll probably only have $1,000, $2,000 to spend this year unless something drastic happens between now and then. But we'll see. Can always put stuff on the credit card if I find something. But I digress. Here is Tales from the Crypt 39. Another Jack Davis cover. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he did the rest. Crazy. I don't know if that's a werewolf or just a mutant guy. I don't know why a werewolf would need a knife, so I guess he's just weird mutated looking guy. This is number 40, and this cover is really bright in the sharp. This is a sharp copy. And this is arguably my favorite Tales from the Crypt cover, another Jack Davis masterpiece, and that's an awesome, awesome cover. Just everything about the layout, the colors, the design, the art, just great. Love that cover. Here's number 41. This issue has a few problems. Big chunk missing there, but another crazy Jack Davis cover that, you know, this one could have an argument to be banned in the 50s too. So here's number 42. Again, pretty bright, sharp copy there in the Mylar, and Jack Davis drawing some vampire hunters, getting ready to give it to this vampire. That's a pretty copy and a sharp cover. Here we go down to Tales from the Crypt number 43. And this isn't too bad of a copy. Has a little bit of bending there by the O, a couple dings. Also mostly white cover. There's a problem down there by the Vault Keeper, little mark, but all white covers that old are hard to find in good shape. But that is a cool Jack Davis cover. Really cool. And different for Tales from the Crypt. Look like something, you know, might see in Two-Fisted Tales or something, but that's an awesome cover regardless. Here's issue number 44. And once again, Jack Davis. He did a lot of guillotine covers. This is the 3rd or 4th one he did for Tales. So, pretty cool cover. You don't get to see the action, but you know what's happening. Here's another one I really love. This is number 45. This is the next to the last issue, and the last issue I own. And this is a cool Jack Davis cover. I love the colors. The guy's shipwrecked and clinging to this piece of wood with the universe's angriest rat. And that is just pretty badass. I'm sorry, it's not a shipwreck, it's a plane wreck. No, it is a shipwreck. Sorry. Saw the propeller. Now that I zoom in, shipwreck. Don't mind me, I haven't been drinking or anything. But this issue has a few flaws. Nothing too major. Rough corners. A little chip at the top. But overall, pretty good. The other thing I wanted to show is this I got. And it's really cool. It's a hardcover slipcase set of all the Tales from the Crypt reprinted in oversized hardcovers. Has that Jack Davis cover on one side and that Jack Davis cover on one side. The cool thing about this is they're oversized. You really get to see these awesome covers, you know. It has one on each side. And I'm going to see if maybe this has the cover from the last issue that I'm missing. Of course not. But there's that Jack Davis cover right there. That is oversized and gorgeous. The downfall of these, in my opinion, it's a cool thing to have, nice set, but the downside to this is, you know, you're gonna reprint them oversized. They're in black and white, man. These books were in color. That kind of upset me as a fan. So I wouldn't really recommend buying this set, but it was cheap and it's a cool thing to have. But you can get the reprints. I can't remember who did it. Was it Gladstone, I believe? Started reprinting all the Tales from the Crypt and stuff in the 90s, and those you can get pretty cheap, and they're color and they're nice reprints, and I'd recommend getting those over these hardcovers. And it's sad because they took the time to make them into a larger hardcover format. It would have cost more to put them in color, but I think I would have gladly paid it. And it's a shame because you really would have got to appreciate the art better in the oversized format. But anyway, that is my collection in progress of my Tales from the Crypt books, my favorite series from EC Comics. And I hope you enjoyed looking at my books. Thank you for watching and happy reading.